Okay, welcome back, guys. Let's start writing the codes. I want to reorder this. Um, put the debit first and the credit afterwards. Now, this is because you want to do a debit transaction first while transferring. You want to debit the one customer first before crediting the another customer. This is not the final solution. A more elegant solution to this would be to use something called database transactions, but that's not for now. So quickly, next thing we want to do, go to, you see this controller class. Let us rename this. So refactor and rename, we call this payment controller. So finish, stop. All right, so we have renamed it because it's more of a payment controller. More of payment stuffs are happening here. One thing I'd like to do is annotate this class with a request mapping and just say value equals slash payments, and let us import this. Yeah, so just so that we can distinguish that this is a payment controller. Now I'll create another controller class and call this account controller. And just to save time, I'm just going to copy this codes, this annotations, because it's nearly the same thing. Just so I call this account controller. Oh, accounts, just accounts. So, and then go back here. I need the health, and then I'll copy the deposit one and rename. I want to create. This is to create account. So just call this create. Create. So just say from account controller, and then I want to call, just this is more of, say, account service implementation, and we need to create this field. So we just auto-wire and say account service implementation. So account service implementation. We can import this auto-wired and then also import this account service implementation class, and just call this create, and then call this create also. And this is account DTO. This one, and say account DTO. We can import this account DTO also. Just copy this and replace. And finally, I want to return an account DTO. Account DTO. So next, we head to our account service implementation and fix this method. So first, get rid of this one, because in fact, get rid of the constructor because we won't need it anymore, and get rid of this because we'll be saving directly to our database. Now I want to use this method, say create, and I want to return an account DTO, right? Account DTO. So let's just, for now, we say return null, and just copy this, head on to, because this is an overriding method, so head on to the interface, call this create account DTO instead of void, and then create. Then we need to pass the account DTO to it. So we pass the account DTO. Let's just import this account DTO. And Head back to the account service implementation. We pass an account DTO here, the account DTO, and let us import the account DTO. All right. Now let us create our repositories. So I'll just come here and say new class, and we can say account repository, and I want to create it in this package, say repository. So now we create an account repository. This is actually an interface, not a class. So we just call this interface, because this is going to extend the JPA repositories. Remember the dependencies that we got? We're going to use them now. So we say annotate this with @repository. Yeah, and then we can say extends JPA repository, and then we pass the account class here and say long. This is the type of the ID. So for us to, we cannot import this because we don't have it here. So let us go to get those dependencies we got in the previous tutorial. Head to our notes, and these are the dependencies. Just copy them from here and head back to our codes. And now we go to our pom.xml. We go to our pom.xml and just paste that dependency here. Those dependencies rather. So let's just make this nice and neat. Yeah. So these are the dependencies we need. The JPA one and the JDBC and the mysql. Let's take off this one. We don't need. Okay. Let me just be double sure. I think I copied more than what I needed. Okay. Yeah, we can get rid of this one. We don't need we already have this one. I think I copied more than I needed. So just this three. Yeah, just the three of them. That's what we need. So save this now and head back to our, yeah. So now we can, if we mouse over this, let's just give it some time and do this again. Okay, still not up. Let's see, go back here. You can right click and just do Maven update project. And yeah, just click OK. So it's going to update the project and go back to the class, the repository class. Yeah, so you can see the import JPA repository is now up. So just double click on this. And then now we can import the account also. Just import the account. Sometimes if you mouse over it and it's taking time, just come to the corner and use that one instead. It's faster. Now with this, our account repository is all set. Let's quickly do our payment repository also. So I'm going to create another, this time around, let's create an interface and say payment repository. So head back, just close up this one, copy this repository annotation. I don't, just saves me time of writing it again. And then just say extends JPA repository. And then this time we pass this the payment and we pass long. Let us import repositories. Correct. Let's try that again. Okay, mouse over this instead and import what we need. Mouse over this again and import what we need. Let's do that again. All right, so we're good now. So up next, we're going to write the codes to save our account to the database.